Origami Stars by Jackson, narrated by Mr. Bushy. So you're going to start with 8 pieces of paper, but we're going to start with 1. First thing you're going to do is fold your paper diagonally, leading edge to leading edge, leading corner to leading corner. Get them lined up nice and neat. Come down toward the center of your fold and out from the center. Smooth it out, because you're going to open it up and you're going to fold it in the opposite direction. Now you're creating an X. See that X across the paper? Now you fold the paper in half, either vertically or horizontally. Doesn't much matter because it's a square. So you're going to end up with 2 diagonals and 1 across, vertically or horizontally. 3 lines all together. See your X with your line through it. So flip that paper over so you're looking at the inside of the folds. You're going to do that kite fold. Fold 2 corners into the center. Looks a bit like a paper airplane. You've created 2 triangles on half the paper, and the other half of the paper is just as is. Now, fold it closed in on those triangles, and we're going to do a squash fold. Squash folds are when you push down until you pop a fold inside out on the opposite side. Now, when you pop that inside out, you're not creating any new folds. You are only flipping existing folds. Now you're going to repeat that 7 more times. Maybe not this fast. I have speeded this up to 32 times. Yes, speeded is totally not a word I just made up. Okay, so assembly time. So you're going to take 2, start with 2. Imagine they're all moving forward from the point, and you're going to stick 1 point into the squash you made on the star before it. When you do that, you're going to fold the tips of that squash fold into the star behind it. This locks them into place, but also allows them to shift, which is going to be important at the end. So, see how that kind of wraps around those 2 sides of the squash? You're going to take your next piece, and you're going to nest it in the squash of your second piece. Fold those ends over again. Fold those 2 ends into the squash of the piece. Take another piece of paper. Put the front end of it into the squash of the back end of the one before it. Fold the squashed tips over. You're going to keep working all the way around. You might want to do this flat on your tabletop. You might want to do this standing, holding it up in the air. If certain pieces come out as you're working, you can put them back in afterwards because the folds will be in place. But that's why you might want to do this setting it down on the tabletop so they don't fall out on you. Because Jackson's really good at this, and he's been doing this for a lot of years, so you and I are just learning this. So you can't expect us to do it as perfectly as Jackson. So we flip those over, and now we're at the very end. There's only one little trick here. When you close it back up in a circle, make sure that you're only folding it around the piece behind it and not the piece behind the piece behind it. So you have to make sure, because there's 2 pieces of paper there. 3, if you count 2 of the folds as different pieces, but you only want to fold on the pieces that are directly behind the piece you're folding, not the one that is nested into it. Now, we close the piece slowly. This may take some fussing to get it to close like that. So it closes into a star, and then it can open right back up into a wreath. Wreath or star, your choice. It's gorgeous. Good job, Jackson.